Enggak, sampah plastik yang paling serius mendapatkan perhatian.
Ya benar, sampah plastik ini terus meningkat setiap tahunnya. Diharapkan pemerintah bisa menemukan solusi untuk mengurangi produksi
tak
sampah.
dibarengi dengan pengelolaan sampah yang bertanggung jawab sehingga plastik berakhir
Kondisi laut Indonesia kini berada dalam situasi kurang beruntung. Beberapa titik sudah jadi tempat pembuangan.
Pantai yang seharusnya indah dan bersih kini perlahan dipenuhi tumpukan sampah plastik. Sampah plastik memang terlihat kecil dan sederhana, tetapi dampaknya sangat besar bagi lingkungan. Plastik yang digunakan hanya beberapa menit, membutuhkan waktu ratusan tahun untuk terurai. Akibatnya, laut menjadi tercemar dan ekosistem laut ikut rusak. Tumpukan sampah yang semakin tinggi menjadi tanda bahwa kesadaran manusia terhadap lingkungan masih kurang. Bisnis dan masyarakat memang membutuhkan plastik karena praktis dan murah. Namun, penggunaan plastik yang berlebihan justru membawa dampak buruk bagi masa depan lingkungan. Karena itu, kita harus mulai mengurangi penggunaan plastik sekali pakai, membuang sampah pada tempatnya, dan berlebih peduli terhadap lingkungan sekitar. Langkah kecil yang dilakukan bersama dapat membawa perubahan besar bagi bumi kita. Karena lingkungan yang bersih bukan hanya untuk hari ini, tetapi juga untuk generasi masa depan.
Good morning everyone, ladies and gentlemen. As the Prime Minister, I strongly support this mention. This house will ban single-use plastic. Single-use plastic are plastic products that are used only once and then thrown away, such as plastic bags, straws, and food packaging. A ban means stopping the use of this product and replacing them with reusable alternative. The urgency, plastic pollution is a serious problem. Every year, millions of tons of plastic waste end up in the ocean and on lands. Plastic takes hundreds of years to decompose. It harms animals, pollutes the environment, and causes flooding by blocking drainage system. Other argument: single-use plastic should be banned because they harm the environment. They are used for only a short time, but remain in nature for hundreds of years. Reusable products can be used many times and save money in the long run. Millions of tons of plastic enter the oceans every year. Indonesia is one of the countries that contribute large amount of plastic waste. Therefore, banning single-use plastic will reduce pollution, protect animals, and create a cleaner environment.
Honorable adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen, we, as the opposition, respectfully disagree with the government proposal to completely ban single-use plastic. While we acknowledge that plastic pollution is a serious environmental issue, we believe that a total ban is not the most effective or realistic solution. And the Prime Minister defines single-use plastic as a product that are used once and then thrown away, such as plastic bags, straws, and food packaging. However, their definition ignores the fact that many people and industries still rely on this product because they are affordable, practical, and accessible. Instead of enforcing a completely ban, we believe that government should focus on responsible plastic usage, a strong recycling system, and better waste management policies. And the government claims that plastic pollution is harms to animal and polluted the environment and causes flooding because plastic takes hundreds of years to decompose. We agree that pollution is dangerous, but the real problem is not plastic itself. It is a poor waste management and irresponsible human behavior. Even if plastic are banned, pollution will continue if governments fail to provide proper recycling facilities and if people continue littering irresponsible and their mechanism focus too much on prohibition rather than solving the root cause of the issue. Furthermore, the Prime Minister argues that reusable alternatives are better because they can reduce waste and save money in the long term. However, this argument ignores economic realities faced by many communities, and eco-friendly alternatives are often more expensive and less accessible, especially for small business and lower-income families. And a sudden for even gradual by many increases product costs, prices and economically burden society. And many workers and industries also still depend on plastic manufacturing, yet the government fails to explain how this economic impact will be minimized. And the government also says that Indonesia contributes large amount of plastic waste to the ocean. Therefore, banning plastic will create a cleaner environment. However, their evidence only proves that pollution exists, not that a total ban is the best solution. And many countries have successfully reduced plastic waste through stricter recycling laws, public education, and waste separation system without fully banning single-use plastic. Therefore, instead of completely banning single-use plastic, we propose a more balanced and realistic solution, like improving waste management system, strengthening recycling programs, limiting excessive plastic use, and educating society about responsible disposal behavior. And we also support innovation in recyclable and biodegradable materials rather than enforcing a total prohibition. And our approach protects the environment while also maintaining economic stability and public accessibility by addressing the root causes of pollution through education, infrastructure, and responsible regulation. And we can reduce environmental damage more effectively without creating an unnecessary social and economic problem. I think that's enough for me, and I will continue to the Deputy Prime Minister.
Honorable adjudicators, respected member of the opposition, and everyone present today. As the Deputy Prime Minister, I would like to reaffirm and strengthen the government's stance in supporting the motion this House would ban single-use plastics. First of all, I fully support the explanation delivered by our Prime Minister. Single-use plastics are products designed to be used once and immediately thrown away, such as plastic bags, straws, and food packaging. Although they are only used for a few minutes, they remain in the environment for hundreds of years and continue causing serious environmental damage. The opposition argued that the real problem is poor waste management and irresponsible human behavior, not plastic itself. However, this argument ignores the reality that single-use plastics are specifically created to become waste quickly. Even countries with recycling systems still struggle to manage plastic pollution because many types of plastic are difficult to recycle and often end up in rivers and oceans. Therefore, improving waste management alone is not enough if the production and consumption of disposable plastic continue increasing every year. Furthermore, the opposition claims that banning single-use plastic will economically burden society because eco-friendly alternatives are expensive. However, this argument only focuses on short-term costs while ignoring much larger long-term consequences of plastic pollution. Environmental damage, flooding caused by blocked drainage system, and harm to marine ecosystem cost government and communities far more money in the future. By starting the transition now, societies can gradually adapt, while industries are encouraged to innovate and create more affordable, sustainable, and alternative. In addition, I would like to strengthen our Prime Minister argument by emphasizing the impact of plastic on human health. Recent studies have found microplastic in seafood, drinking water, and even the human body. This proves that plastic pollution is no longer an environmental issue, but also a public health concern. If government fail to take strong action now, future generations will face even more dangerous consequences. The opposition also say that recycling and education are enough to solve the problem. However, recycling alone has not been effective because global plastic recycling rates remain extremely low. Education is important, but without firm regulation, public behavior changes very slowly. This is why banning single-use plastic together with education and recycling programs create a much stronger and more comprehensive solution. Therefore, our side believes that banning single-use plastic is not only necessary but also urgent. This policy will reduce pollution, protect wildlife, improve public health, and encourage society to move toward more sustainable habits. We are not simply banning plastic without solution. We are promoting a cleaner, safer, and more responsible future for everyone. For this reason, we strongly stand with the motion.
Okay, as the deputy leader of opposition, I would like to respond to the arguments delivered by the deputy prime minister and reinforce why we firmly oppose the motion this House will ban single-use plastic. For the first, the deputy prime minister argued that single-use plastic are designed to become waste quickly and therefore must be banned from the source. However, this argument oversimplifies the issue because waste itself is not automatically dangerous when managed properly. Many materials, including paper and food waste, can also cause environmental problems if disposal systems are poor. The real issue remains ineffective waste management and weak public discipline, not merely the existence of plastic products. Furthermore, the government claims that recycling alone is ineffective because many plastics are difficult to recycle. While we agree that recycling systems in many countries are still weak, this does not justify a total ban. Instead of eliminating plastic completely, government should invest in better recycling technology, waste separation system, and sticker disposal regulation. Their policy focuses more on prohibition rather than improving infrastructure, which is the actual long-term solution. Then, the Deputy Prime Minister also argues that eco-friendly alternative will eventually become affordable and that industry will adapt over time. However, this argument ignores the economic reality faced by millions of small business and lower income communities today. Many food vendors, markets, and local industry still rely on cheap plastic packaging to survive economically. A ban, even if gradual, might increase operational costs and product price, creating financial pressure on ordinary people. The government provides hope about future adoption but fails to explain how vulnerable communities will handle and transition in the present. In addition, the government attempts to strengthen their case by mentioning microplastic and human health concern. However, their evidence only proves that plastic pollution exists, not that banning single-use plastic is the most effective solution. Health risks can also be reduced through stricter waste management, better recycling system, and innovation in safer plastic production without implementing a complete ban that may negatively impact economic stability. Moreover, the government argue that education alone changes behavior too slowly, but banning plastic without strong public awareness and infrastructure will also fail because people might simply switch to other environmentally harmful disposable projects. Real and sustainable environmental change require public responsibility, effective system, and realistic regulation, not only strict prohibition. Therefore, our side continues to believe that a total ban on single-use plastic is unrealistic and ineffective. Instead, governments should strengthen recycling programs, improve waste management system, encourage responsible plastic usage, and invest in innovative recyclable material. This approach protects the environment while also maintaining economic stability and accessibility for society. For those reasons, we firmly stand against the motion.